Hi, my name is Kevin Lieberman. I'm a robotics PhD candidate at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, Michigan in the United States. The first question, Judaism for me is more a religion or an identity? There are many things in my life that are outside of my control, whether it be the circumstances of my birth, the health and well-being of my family, or what happens in the future. Judaism helps me cope with the uncertainty and to find meaning in my life. However, I think that the experience of being Jewish is much more than just the religion itself. Many of my Jewish memories come from spending time together, celebrating Jewish holidays or Shabbat, but they also include memories of spending time together with my family and Jewish friends, even when we were just hanging out together. I also think about how many Jewish dishes in Jewish cuisine is shaped by local cultures and was modified so that it would either be kosher or appropriate for a Jewish holiday. And finally, I think many Jews experience anti-Semitism because they identify as Jewish, not necessarily because they are very engaged with the Jewish religion. Question number 2. What's the one thing I wish we could do better in our local Jewish community? As a local Jewish community leader, I've struggled to figure out how do we build community in the middle of a pandemic when we can't meet because it is below freezing in Ann Arbor, Michigan. If a community is a group of people that mutually care about each other, it's hard to get on a Zoom call and communicate and feel that you're among a group of people that mutually care about each other. And so I've been trying to think over the past year, how do we let people know that we care about them and we value them as members of our local community, especially when we can't meet in person? Here are my opinions on a few statements. Only in Israel can you live a full Jewish life. I think it is true that you can be publicly Jewish in Israel in a way that it's much harder to do in the US. I think about how I've walked around Israel and seen signs on the street that say Chag Sameach in a way that you just wouldn't see here in the US. But that being said, I think there are many American Jews who feel that they are able to have more choices in how they celebrate Judaism here in the United States. For example, you would have more choices around your marriage and your wedding in the United States than in Israel, where the Rabbanut controls marriage more tightly. The next statement, Orthodox, conservative, Reform, we need to accept all forms of Judaism. I believe that we need to understand how all forms of Judaism have rigor. For example, there are theological reasons why the Reform movement does what it does. I don't think many people understand that, though. I think we need to take the time to appreciate all the different movements that make up, let's say, American Jewry. However, I also think it's more complicated to just say that we need to be accepting of all of them. When we try to organize Kabbalat Shabbat services in the United States that caters to everyone from, let's say, Orthodox to Reform, it's very difficult to create one unified service. All of these different movements are different, and we need to recognize that they are different as part of accepting all of them. Finally, the statement, I believe American Jews and Israelis should do more to tighten ties and know more about each other. I absolutely agree. I remember I was once walking down the Tayelet in Tel Aviv, and I realized how all of my experiences in Israel have been shaped by being on vacation. Like, I wondered, do I really enjoy Israel, or do I like the fact that I'm not working, I can go to the beach, I can go to the coffee shop, I can hang out with friends? And I realized that my time in Israel isn't the same way that Israelis experience Israel. And similarly, when we have Israelis come to our university as students, I try to spend time with them so that they learn more about American Jewish life too. We talk about the fact that our campus rabbi is a woman. We talk about the different services our Hillel offers. And I share with them what it means to be an American Jew. And I think by spending time together, we'll be able to build understanding and build better ties too.